Namaste, yogis. I wanted to offer a meditation on sitting with discomfort and anxiety and the lack of control that we can feel in these difficult times. It may feel as though everything is especially uncertain, especially if you've lost your routine, you've lost your schedule, if you're stuck at home with small children, perhaps. It can definitely feel like we've lost our sense of control over our lives. And something that is maybe comforting, maybe not comforting, is that we never have had control over our lives. We just put systems in place in order to believe that that's so. And we like things to stay the way that they are. So one of the deepest, in fact, the deepest klesha, or root cause of suffering in humans, is in Sanskrit abhinavesha, which means, it often gets translated as the fear of death, but really what it means is the desire to maintain the status quo. So we really don't like things to change, and we really don't like things to change for the worse. Who's to say whether this is a change for the worse? This is simply an event that is occurring that we are all experiencing and witnessing together. And so as yogis, we can do the practice of just sitting with the feelings that arise, the sensations that come up from our discomfort or our anxiety around, like, unknowing, right? The lack of clarity, the fear, the true fear that may be arising for you as a result of this crisis. It's a tall order. We'll do what we can. So take a comfortable seat. When you sit in meditation, I always recommend that you sit up on something. I'm up on a meditation cushion here, and I have a pillow below my legs, and this helps me to stay comfortable to sit for longer. Definitely pull in some pillows or blankets so you can prop up your hips. You want your hips to be higher than your knees. If sitting on the floor is an impossibility, it doesn't mean that you can't meditate. It means sit up in a chair. Once your lower half is situated, then organize your spine so that it's nice and tall. You just want to avoid schlumping, right? What can tend to happen is that the shoulders jump forward, perhaps the head comes forward. To the best of your ability, just prop your head right on your spine, sit nice and tall, and close your eyes. We start by simply sensing. So just sort of look around in there. Maybe you're highly aware of your own anxious tendencies. It's possible that they're there and they're low level, or they're there and you're not aware of them at all. You might look in your heart center, in your breath pattern, in your belly, for signs of tightness, clenching, quickness. If your heart is beating really quick or your breath is moving quickly. And then whatever you discover, just let that simply be. Okay, so my stomach, is clenching around fear. I'm aware of that. My heart is beating more rapidly than I would prefer. Okay, I'm aware of Don't worry, we'll work on it in this meditation. Once you've done some investigation, let's take 3 deep breaths. So take a nice full inhale, fill your lungs. And a nice full exhale, make it smooth, slow, release to empty. And then again, take a nice big inhale. And a full deep exhale. And exhale all your breath out so that you can take one more big full inhale breath. This time, take a really slow exhale. And just settle, physically settle a little bit deeper as a result. Return to your normal breath. Let's intentionally soften some areas of the body. So intentional softening or releasing, the practice of pratyahara, turning our attention inward and releasing, is a great way for us to just ground in preparation to sit. So, check your mouth, check your tongue, check your jaw. Really common points of tension are gritting the teeth, pressing the tongue into the roof of the mouth, hardening the muscles of the throat. Invite your tongue to drop, release, settle. Invite your teeth to part slightly. Soften and release through your throat muscles. Check the tension in the tops of your shoulders. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. Check for any holding or returning of tension or speed in the breath. Can you keep, even though you're maybe not breathing as fully as those 3 deep breaths, can you keep a sense of soft, slightly controlled breath? So it's smooth and conducive to this notion of settling, reducing anxiety. Is there anywhere else that you need to release? You might check your hands. You might check your neck, the back of your neck especially. You might check the skin of your forehead and your scalp. All potential places to loosen here. So we slow down. We become easy. And then, without it overtaking you, allow yourself to feel your very real feelings about, the global pandemic, or the fact that you may be stuck at home, or the potential loss of financial security. So, very true feelings, very real feelings that many of us are experiencing of anxiety, fear, loss of control, discomfort with change. You might pick 1 or 2 things that are especially uncomfortable for you. And then let's just sit with that. The process of sitting quieting, stilling, grounding around our lack of control. You might notice if those signs of anxiety have crept back in, and quickened breath, heart rate speeding up, stomach clenching. Use your conscious control of your breath to slow and quiet your bodily systems. If your mind has begun to wander, or again you find yourself rooting in fear or discomfort or anxiety, come back to the body, come back to the breath, sit in grounding, softening, settling. And then let's shift our focus in one of the philosophical systems of yoga, the Yoga Sutras. There's a suggestion that surrendering to our lack of control and having faith in the process of life is one of the quickest ways, or the quickest way to freedom from our earthly constraints. This practice is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So devoting yourself to something greater than yourself, or that surrendering to, this is all above my pay grade, right? This is all happening without my ability to control it. And so in the last couple moments here, let's just sit with that notion of, this is out of my hands. And there's definitely some comfort there. There's also comfort. You can sit in the notion that we're all in this together, right? So there's a togetherness, there's an interconnectedness, and there's a sweet surrender to letting this play out as it will. So once more, slow your bodily systems down, drop your shoulders away from your ears, unclench your teeth, and find your breath. Allow for, perhaps it's just the thought of, things being out of your hands, out of your control. You may actually experience a physical release, a freedom in a sense, just by relinquishing that notion that we do have control. It may be beyond your ability at this point. Right? You may be too locked in the state of fear or discomfort, and that's okay too. You can just allow for the possibility that someday we may have the ability to surrender our sense of control. Let's just take one more minute here. One final time. Soft, easy breath. Keep your breath under your conscious control. And rest in ease. After your next full breath, let's take our hands together at heart center. And so as you move through your days, coming weeks, potentially the coming months, you can always come back to this idea that you have conscious control over your breath, right? In order to bring yourself back down to a quieted and grounded state. Especially when you're feeling particularly out of control or fearful, come back and become peaceful. May we be easy and peaceful and well. Namaste.